Hello, and welcome to part 2 of the tour of my trailer. Before I get into the camping stats, I just wanted to show you the rock we came up with that worked for me. So this is a normal trailer rock, and I will now attempt to put this on. Now, that is not way too hard. So, this is my rock, and we've done 2 things on this to make it easier. The first is this plate here, so as I push on the rock, there's the water that holds it from the back. This little rod keeps the rock facing out so it won't fall into the bottom there as it's trapped in there. So, the first thing I do is turn this upside down. Simple as that. And then this piece and that saver. And then put this piece in there. That's still holding it on its own. Now, turn this back around. Take the rock, put it in the hole, put that rock. I did that pretty much with one hand. When I was on the rock is already facing up. it can't go down. Keep one hand in and not this like that. So I have it now for a little bit, and then as I got more into camping and more independent, I wanted to come up with something that I could fit camping and set on my own. I have trouble with tents and flags and anything like that. A caravan would be very nice, but obviously that's outside my budget. So we came up with using this trailer with some additions. So we'll get into that now.
So like Max said before, if you wanted to be a little bit independent on being able to put the trailer together to go camping, so we got a bit of aluminium. It just clips into the front headboard. The light switch on there, we'll talk about that later, how that works. This just clips in, and then we were able to source some bolts that don't have a thread all the way on the bolt. The little bit there, it's not threaded, so that allows Max to be able to put that into the riv nut that we put on the back there, and Max can do it just with one hand and a small rattle gun. So the bolt just stays there long enough so Max can actually get hold of the riv nut and do it up. So we went with the riv nut idea, so it's just all one-handed with Max. If we're going with a nut and bolt, it means Max has to try and hold the other side with a spanner, and that's just not appropriate for Max, so it was much easier to do it this way. So for the sides, once again Max wanted to do this by himself, so we got a bit of aluminium, made it a bit light for him. We put some hinge pins on the inside of the sides, and then Max can just put this in the trailer himself. So it's just a little spring-loaded clip there that just springs in so it can hold it for Max. So with the cross pieces, we made them out of alloy, something light for Max to put in here, and their purpose is just to hold the canvas up.
So now we're ready to put the canvas cover on top of it. Now that cover is pretty heavy and it's pretty awkward to put on, so it does need another person to help me. Wow.
So this plug is to be plugged in, and it's to do with that switch on the headboard that I mentioned before. We used a trailer plug here because it's much easier for Max to plug it in. And what it does, it turns the system into, or the light, sorry, inside the canopy into a two-way switch now. So we'll go in the back here to where it's plugged in, and Max can turn the light on from the outside of the. So Max is just plugging this plug into here to get power for the inside light, and the switch beside that, once he turns that on, it actually, there are 4 lights under the trailer that illuminates around the ground of the trailer for when Max is camping at night, so you can see where he's walking, and it also turns the light on inside the canopy. So that's the light that's inside the canopy for at night time when he's camping, and then when he gets into bed he can just flick that switch up the other end of the headboard, and it turns the inside light off and also the ones outside illuminating the ground for him. So when we sourced the toolbox, we sourced a toolbox that had a latch like this that Max could just push the button to undo. The T-handle ones is just a bit hard for Max to work out. So you may have noticed that we use Anderson plugs. There's 3 of them around here on the trailer. The reason we use Anderson plugs is just that the ease of Max to be able to unplug and plug them in. And I'll get Max to explain why we have 3 in a row.
The bottom one runs from here down here and fit to the car. The 2 other ones on top run to the battery. This little loop wire and plug this into that one and into that one. So what that does is it charges the battery in the toolbox. The top one is to run something else off the battery. So I used to have my fridge in the trailer in the back, and I would plug it into that one. I since put the fridge in my drawer, and we'll get to that in another video.
And we put a water tank in behind the toolbox, and over the back there is a jerry can rack to hold fuel or excess water. And on the tap on the water tank, we actually had to source one that actually had a bit bigger handle on it that Max could use. And then we also put a hose fitting on the bottom of that tap, so Max can just plug the hose in and fill it back up. The fill point on this is a bit hard to get to, so it's just difficult for Max to do that, so we decided to use the garden hose to fill it up. And in there is supposed to be where the soap dispenser is, but that was awkward for Max to get to, so we've actually put it out here on the toolbox at a better height for him to use that now.
So this is my home away from home. It's pretty roomy in here. I got this moving blanket on the floor that gives me a nice soft surface to put my feet and help keep a bit of the cold out. Yeah, it's nice and cozy, and it isn't flat. Basically open the back and my bed's set ready to go. Well, this is in paying attention to my smartphone is not hooked onto my belly with my dad. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I want a little bit into position in the backyard this morning. There's a little video coming out of that. The other reason is in the middle of getting something.
My son Lockie and Max have come up with a modification that will help Max when he goes on a long trip away, and that's not finished yet, so we're not going to reveal that yet.
That would be a surprise for you guys. I'm planning to do that, and hopefully at the most 3 weeks it'll be coming out. So stay tuned for that, you know, love it. Well, thank you much for watching. As always, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I would like to say a big thank you Steve for coming on and helping do this video. Steve, do you have any final words?
Just to say that Max is just inspirational to any person that thinks they can't do anything. You just need to think outside the square, be positive, and just do it. We're not building the space shuttle. It just has to work. Well done, mate.
Think outside the box and you make it happen. Thank you. See you later.
See you later, guys.
And then hold it right around. We have to do the
Okay.
Cutler.